Well, as you can see, we've survived the fire. For those of you that know the center, this is this gateway is built up in about a foot, and as you can see over by the cement mixer and the tractor, there's probably about 4 or 5 feet of debris that's there. If you pan round, what used to be our extra parking lot now is under a good 6 feet of debris, and all of that debris is going down the road. You can see there's various kinds of erosion. We've already started to dig and to remove some of the debris. We're trying to put it on the downhill side and create flat land. As you come in, you'll notice the extent of the debris, the propane tanks. We're gaining a little bit of land from the extra dirt that we've got on the downhill side. Here at the shop, we've all of this debris was up against the shop. You can see the sort of tide mark of the debris flow. We've blocked in the doorway with a wall and painted it with tar on the bottom end, just because we are expecting more debris to come through. As we go further on, we're going past the office. The truck here is just loading up a lot of the damaged pipe and old pipe that we've replaced. You can see the tractor is sitting probably about 4 feet higher than it normally would be. Again, all of this is debris. You may be able to see here we're having to do rock walls down here as a deflection walls to stop the main channel overflowing and then going under the solar panels. In this shot, you may also see how far the debris has spread. That's going way over across the meadow to the practice house. So this entire bottom part of the valley is in the floodplain. For those of you that know the center, the creek used to flow where that pile of dirt is right now. We're now opening up a channel to allow large amounts of debris to come in through past the office. Again, the tide marks are on the wall of the office in this area. So again, we're in the lower meadow now, just before the office. You can see the cannon statue. The creek used to just flow through on the right of that cannon statue. Now it's coming across this entire valley, and we've put up, first we put up a stone wall here, but the stone wall got crested by the volume of debris that came down. You can see some of the debris over on the Hogan building over here, where it's about 2 feet deep. Again, there's no sort of definitive channel anymore. We've been trying to put the channel over on the left side here, but the creek's going to go where it wants to go. Again, this area is more like a delta. Over here, we've got the starts of a debris pit. We're going to dig this a lot deeper so that we can have some traps for debris. These will fill up, but hopefully they'll slow down the debris flow when it comes through. Again, we're expecting lower end 7 acre-feet of debris coming down over the winter, with a maximum of like 100 acre-feet, which is, that would probably bury most of the buildings here. So we're doing what we can right now. So we can go up and have a look at some of the other areas. So now we're over at the Jizo Garden. We used to have a peace pole over here too, but that ended up in way down at the bottom of the lower meadow, probably about 200-300 yards down the hill. We used to have a high banked rock garden here with a bridge, but it's all gone. We're stood on about 3 feet of debris here. The rock wall seemed to survive pretty well, except for the place in front of the Buddha Hall. But as you can see, there's a large amount of water and debris coming down through here, even over on the main path by the Buddha Hall. So we can move up to the next part. Here's the foundations for the bridge, which has been actually taken down intact all the way from, let's see, probably about 30 yards. Again, that's the power of the storm. This trunk was part of the edge demarcation for the picnic area in front of the Buddha Hall. And then we can come up and have a look at the front of the Buddha Hall and look around that area. So here's the front of the Buddha Hall. We're stood. This is the old bridge foundations. Debris came over the both of these rock steps and the wood steps over by the kitchen and came down through here. Not much debris here because this is the main channel. Where the camera is situated now is probably 5 or 6 feet into the stream. What was once an 8 or 10 foot channel is now probably about 30 feet wide, with also water coming from behind as well. If you look up at the stream bed itself, some of the rocks were washed out from the sides, and this has also been filled by a few feet. We've been taking debris out to make debris pits, and that work is going to continue over the next few weeks. You can see the erosion coming down from the Zendo. There was a lot of damage around the back of the Zendo, luckily nothing inside, but we spent a week filling large pits that had developed with rock, so it wouldn't get washed out. Next we'll just have a look behind the Buddha Hall now, and you can see some of the damage there. So as you can see up here, this is the channel and the path that comes down to the Buddha Hall. We've dug a big trench to divert the water from here, but as you pan down, you see we've diverted the water now to go along the side of the study hall and out by the Doksan room. Here are the steps down into the drainage channel that goes underneath the Buddha Hall. You can see again the tide mark of the debris flow that came down. We've dug this out probably about 3 or 4 times already. The plywood over the window there is to stop further damage. We did get some water into the Buddha Hall, but it didn't damage too much. Hopefully we'll do well in the next over the next winter and the following winters. So I'm stood in the place where the bridge to the Zendo came across. Also, if you look over near the kitchen, this is where the water crested even after we dug a 6 to 8 feet deep channel. It filled in again and then came over the top and then down and through. You can see the amount of debris. Most of these floods that we had were only about an hour. So you can see what happened, and within that, probably half an hour of real intense rain. So it's bringing down a lot of stuff. This we're going to rock and concrete this area so that it deflects water further down, but we will have to dig out on a regular basis and also do some debris pits a bit higher up the stream. Now we'll look behind the Zendo. This was a huge channel we've been filling with rock, simply because there was so much material taken out from this area. So there's still a lot of work here. We may end up concreting some of these rocks in and probably taking down cabin 1. So that's this area. The Zendo we've boarded up, and we've already taken a lot of the debris which was up almost to the windowsills here and had gone over into the walkway as well. Covered it up to about 6 inches, but again, no damage on the inside. So we were very fortunate there. But anyway, there's a lot of work. So we're down in the valley above the Zendo. Cabin 2 is over here and cabin 4 is up there. So all of this was wooded, and you can see the results of the fire. The fire actually did come down into this part of the valley, but all of this rock debris has been washed down during these last storms that we had. So you can see fire and flood here. Right now I'm just looking for the height of the water inside the tanks. Looks like we're pretty full. Usually you can feel when it's a change in temperature as to where the cold water is and the warm top, but it seems like it's pretty full. Sounds like it too. So we're going up to the memorial site, and we'll see what damage there is up there. So here we are at the memorial site. Obviously you can see the effects of the fire that came through. There's a lot of dead trees around this area, and really it looks like we're going to have to re-site the memorial site. This is Tenshin Roshi stone. We'll dig that out, and then obviously we'll have to re-site it, but it looks like we're in actually a river channel here. Maizumi Roshi stone seems to have done okay, but it's covered in debris. Obviously at the present time we're trying to clear out the center. We will come back and do this at some point, but definitely it'll have to be re-sited. Okay, so here we are at the well site. This is one of the wells. We hooked it up once, and then obviously all the debris came down and washed it out. The second well is over here. All of this line burnt. There was probably about 200 or 300 feet of it, and you know, hopefully we don't have to do it again, but there's a good possibility. This is in the center of a drainage channel. All of this has been scoured out. I'm probably stood, I'd say 2 feet below where the original bottom of this was. Possibly even more, maybe even as far as say 3 feet. This particular stump over here is the old altar, the water protector's altar. And you can see the incense bowl has melted. As you see, lots of fire damage in this area. It came down through. Most of the trees were taken out by it. It doesn't look like many of these are going to come back again. But as you can see, this is one of the things that we're contending with right now. Okay, so we're looking up above the tanks, just on the downhill side of the memorial site, and this is a good example of a debris field. This is what we're facing over the next few years. The slope's over 45 degrees, and obviously with any rain it wants to come down. We don't know how much debris is there. They've given us the estimate, but you know, this is why we need the funding. We need to constantly dig out, and that's probably going to be a fact of life for us for the next 2 to 5 years.